Section 3.5, Dividing Polynomials, using long division and synthetic division to divide polynomials. So first question, why divide polynomials? Well, dividing polynomials can help us find the roots or x-intercepts of polynomial functions. There's two ways to do it. One is with long division and one is with something called synthetic division. Now, long division of polynomials is done exactly the same way long division is done with numbers. Like you may remember in elementary school learning how to do long division. So you would have some kind of long division problem that you were working on, and you would say, okay, I need to multiply 24 by something that gets really close to 78, and then you would guess, oh, maybe 3 times. Well, long division with polynomials is exactly the same. So really, you use a long division sign. So we're going to divide 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4x plus 5 by x plus 2. And so just like long division with numbers, you start by asking, what could I multiply 24 by to get very close to 78? In long division with polynomials, you ask yourself, what would I multiply x by to get 2x cubed? Well, that would be 2x squared. And so we put it on top, just like we put the 3 on top of the long division sign. And then you may remember what happens next in long division. You multiply these two numbers together. So you would say 3 times 24 is 72, and you write the number down below. We are going to do exactly the same thing. We are going to multiply 2x squared and x plus 2, and we're going to write our answer down below. So we would say 2x squared times x is 2x cubed, and 2x squared times 2 is a positive 4x squared. These two processes are exactly the same. So you may remember what happens next is we subtract. That's exactly what we're going to do over here. Now with polynomials, with subtracting, you have to be very careful with the signs. So an easy way to think of subtraction is change the sign and add. So I'm going to change this first term to a negative and the second term to a negative, and then I'm going to combine these two. 2x cubed and negative 2x cubed is 0. Negative 3x squared and negative 4x squared is negative 7x squared. Okay, so let's come back over here to regular long division. And we would subtract, in other words, add the opposite, and get 6. Now you might remember what happened next. We would bring down the 4. Well, the same thing we're going to do here. We're going to bring down the next term, which is 4x, and then you might remember the whole thing starts again. What would I multiply 24 by to get very close to 64? And then you would put the next guess up here, maybe 2. And then you would multiply, subtract, bring down the next term. Multiply, subtract, bring down the next term. Exactly what we're going to do here. So what would I multiply x squared by, or x by, to get 7x squared? Well, we would multiply it by negative 7x. And so let's go ahead and multiply. Negative 7x times x is negative 7x squared. Negative 7x times 2 is negative 14x. Now we would like to subtract. And subtracting in algebra is the same as changing the signs and adding. These two give us 0, and 4x and 14x give us 18x. And finally, you bring down the last term. What would I multiply x by to get 18x? I would multiply it by 18. If I multiply, I get 18x. 18 times 2 is positive 36. I would want to subtract. Subtract means change the sign and add. And so what I would get is a remainder of negative 31. Now you may remember when you divide numbers, if you get a remainder, you often write your remainder as a fraction. So I could say this is the same as plus negative 31, my remainder, over my divisor. And that's long division of polynomials. Okay, let's try one more example. So we'll divide 6x cubed plus 11x squared minus 31x plus 15 by 3x minus 2. Again, it starts by asking yourself, what would I multiply 3x by to get 6x cubed? Well, that would be 2x squared. So we're going to go ahead and multiply. 2x squared times 3x is 6x cubed. 2x squared times negative 2 is negative 4x squared. I want to subtract. Subtract means change the sign and add. If we combine these together, this gives us 0, and the next two terms give us 15x squared. And now we bring down the next term. What do we multiply 3x by to get 15x cubed? 15x squared, 5x. So we'll multiply. 5x times 3x is 15x squared. 5x times negative 2 is negative 10x. We want to subtract. Subtract means change the sign and add. If we do that, these two give us 0, and 10 and negative 31 is negative 21x. And we bring down the final term. What we would multiply 3x by to get negative 21x? Negative 7. We'll multiply negative 21x. Negative 7 times negative 2 is a positive 14. We want to subtract. Subtract means change the signs. And add. These will give us 0. And 15 plus negative 14 gives us 1. So we have a remainder of 1, which we can write as a fraction, 1 over 3x minus 2. So that's long division of polynomials. Here, why don't you try this one? All right, so why don't you see if you can divide, we'll do a short one, 3x squared plus 2x minus 3 by x plus 2. Why don't you give that one a try?